Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. Well, I recently cut up over 100 fat quarters into layer cakes and jelly rolls. Halfway through processing those bundles into finished quilts, I decided to take a break and actually make something that's been on my list for quite some time. I made a baby quilt not too long ago, and the center was a carpenter square. I wanted to make a bigger, bolder carpenter square this time, and I had these teal prints in my fat quarter stash, and I was going to use those and cut the biggest squares I could cut. The problem I had was I needed an equal number of light fabrics, and I did not have enough light fat quarters. You can see in this black and white photo that only a couple of those fat quarters are truly light. I pulled this cute thrifted fabric from my stash. I've got my measurements of how many squares I need to make my quilt. The first thing I'm going to do is press all the fat quarters and that thrifted fabric nice and flat. I checked that thrifted fabric measurements and I realized I did not have enough of that to make the number of squares that I needed. So I grabbed a little bit of random white fabric, also thrifted from my stash. I pressed that flat and then I began cutting. I'm going to be cutting up this fabric into 9-inch squares, and to do that, first I was going to start by cutting my square off, but then I realized if I cut off the top first, I will preserve more of the fabric for some other use. So I'm measuring up from the bottom of my fold there, and I'm going to cut one long strip across the top, and then I'll be cutting my 9-inch squares from what I've got underneath there. Lining up my ruler so I've got more than 9 inches underneath, I trimmed the right side and the top side first. Then I flipped that stack around the opposite way, lined up exactly at 9 inches on the bottom and left, and trimmed the other two sides. Here's a better look at that cute fabric I pulled from my stash. It's so cute with little lambs and bunnies. I did a little bit of folding manipulation to get my 9-inch cuts from the fabric. Then I went ahead and took the time to draw a diagonal line on the number of squares that I needed to. Not all of the light squares will need this diagonal line, and I will provide all those measurements in the description of this video. If you've got a print with a right and a wrong side, make sure you draw the line on the wrong side of the fabric. Cutting the fat quarters is a little bit trickier, so most fat quarters should measure 18 inches by about 20 to 22 inches. Check yours and make sure that they are 18 inches wide before you start cutting. You might have to trim down a little if you've got a couple that are short. First, I folded the fat quarter in half one way, and then I folded it in half again the other way, so I have a stack of 4 layers. Now I'm going to line up my ruler. The selvage edges are over there on the left side. I want to make sure I am not going to be having selvage in my 9-inch square. So I'm lining up my ruler to make sure I've got 9 inches covered plus the selvage on the left and 9 inches covered on the bottom. And I'm trimming off the folds on the right and the top. Now I can flip this stack of 4 around the opposite way, line up my ruler with the 9-inch lines, and trim off the right-hand side and the top side. I'll be adding those little leftover strips to my scrap pile. You're welcome to skip ahead here, but I wanted to show you on a couple of 5-inch squares how I line up my needle. The diagonal line is my cut line, and the dashed lines on both sides are my stitching lines, which are about 1/4 of an inch away from the line I drew. I'm using just a plain presser foot here, and I'm going to line my drawn line, my cut line, up with the middle of that presser foot, but I'm going to move the needle clear over to the right hand side. And I went ahead and stitched a line at this setting, and here you can see my 2 stitched lines. They're a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch, but that's okay with me. I'm going to be trimming these anyway down to 4.5 inches, and you can see here these 5-inch squares that I used came out a little bit more than 4.5 inches. Okay, now it's time to make our half square triangles with these 9-inch squares. I've got some of my pairs that are 2 prints and some of my pairs that are a print and a background. And again, I'm going to leave all that information in the description so you know exactly how many squares you need and how many half square triangles of each type you need to make. I normally like to chain piece. If these were 5-inch squares, I would definitely be chain piecing, but since they're so large at 9 inches, that just makes it too bulky. So I'm just doing one at a time. I'm stitching down one side of the line first, flipping the unit around and stitching down the opposite side. Next, I am going to cut these units apart on the line that I drew. Then I'm going to take the time to press them flat. You do want to take the time to press the half square triangles nice and flat. Now, if you've got perfect squares and perfect seams, they may all be exactly the same size and you can just stitch them together. In my case, I do like to trim these up before I put them in a finished quilt. To trim my half square triangles, I'm using a ruler with a diagonal line, and that diagonal 45-degree angle is going to be lined up on my stitch line. I'm going to make sure 8.5 inches is covering the entire piece here, and then I can trim off the right side and the top side. There's not a lot of waste here coming off. That's good. I flipped the unit around the opposite way and lined up my ruler with that 8.5 inch mark, keeping that diagonal line covering the seam line, and trimmed off the other 2 sides. Every time I make a carpenter square quilt, I have to draw it out just like this. You can see I've got some blocks that are, I've got a 0, and that means they are plain white for me. Because I have 2 different background fabrics, I wanted to space out the plain white versus the pattern. So I made sure those 8 pieces are spaced out around the quilt. Then I kept referring to my sticky note, and I laid out this entire quilt on my office floor. This Carpenter's Star is an 8 by 8 layout. I picked up each row left to right. Then I moved all 8 rows to stacks in my sewing room right on the table there. I've got them turned different ways so I know where the next row starts. I've also got my little cheat sheet handy so I can make sure that each row as I do it is according to the plan. We'll speed up this stitching just a little bit. I got through the entire stack of sewing pairs together, then I broke that chain and started sewing pairs into fours. Then I broke that chain and started sewing the fours into rows of 8. You can see my cheat sheet is right there as I'm sewing these rows together, so I make sure I'm not messing it up. As I finished each row, I just placed it on the floor right next to me. I did get out my clips to put these rows together, and I kept my cheat sheet right there. So I'm taking 2 rows at a time, which is going to be 8 and 7 first, and I'm making sure they're matching up according to the diagram, so if there is a block turned around, I can fix it before it gets stitched into the quilt. There is no extra matching with this quilt other than the seams between our blocks. So it's a super easy pattern, and depending on the size of square you start with, you can get a nice big square quilt. Since I have unfinished blocks of 8.5 inches, this quilt is going to finish to about 64 inches by 64 inches. For my first round, I'm stitching 2 rows together at a time, so a total of 4 seams. Now I'll clip 2 to 2 to get 4, so I have 2 more seams for this round. And then the last thing I'll do is stitch 4 rows together with 4 more rows to complete this quilt top. Then I will go all the way around the outside of the quilt with a stay stitch. Then I press the quilt nice and flat. Here is a look at this final quilt. It's so bold and beautiful. I just love it with these bright greens and bright teals, and then that neutral fabric. Blaze obviously loves it too. I hope you'll check out that baby quilt link that I pasted in here. It's such a difference, the fabric that you use and how this pattern comes out based on different fabrics. But this is really just a 2-tone quilt, 1 light, 1 dark, and all the darks are 1 shade, 1 color family. I really like this look. I have never made a scrappy Carpenter Star, so I think I'm going to put that somewhere in the future where I make a scrappy Carpenter Star and see what happens. Leave me a comment if you like. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would do. How many Carpenter Stars have you made, and what colors did you use? Most of all, thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you back again next time.